Tulips are beloved spring-blooming flowers that add vibrant colors to gardens and landscapes. In this video, we'll guide you through the essential steps to ensure successful tulip plantings so you can enjoy their beauty year after year. This video will provide you with valuable insights and practical tips for planting tulips like a pro. Tulips, tulipa, are perennial bulbous plants belonging to the Liliaceae family and are native to Central Asia. They are known for their colorful, cup-shaped flowers that bloom in early to mid-spring, adding a burst of color to gardens and landscapes. Tulips come in a wide variety of colors, including red, yellow, pink, purple, orange, and white, with various patterns and combinations. These spring-blooming beauties are typically planted in the fall, allowing them to establish roots before the onset of winter dormancy. Tulips require well-drained soil and prefer locations with full sun to partial shade. They thrive in USDA hardiness zones 3 to 8, although specific cultivars may have different climatic preferences. Tulip bulbs are planted at a depth of about 6 to 8 inches, 15 to 20 centimeters, with spacing of 4 to 6 inches, 10 to 15 centimeters between bulbs. Proper spacing allows for adequate air circulation and prevents overcrowding, which can lead to disease and poor growth. Understanding the specific requirements of tulips and their growth habits is essential for successful planting and cultivation. When choosing tulip bulbs for planting, it's essential to select high-quality bulbs that are firm, plump, and free from any signs of mold, rot, or damage. Look for bulbs that are large in size, as they typically produce larger and more robust flowers. Avoid bulbs that feel soft or lightweight, as these may be past their prime or of inferior quality. Consider the specific variety of tulips you wish to plant, taking into account factors such as color, height, and bloom time. Tulip varieties vary widely in terms of flower shape, size, and color, so choose bulbs that align with your desired aesthetic and garden design. When purchasing tulip bulbs, pay attention to the recommended planting depth and spacing provided on the packaging or label. Different tulip varieties may have slightly different requirements, so it's essential to follow the specific instructions for each type of bulb. It's also a good idea to buy tulip bulbs from reputable nurseries or garden centers to ensure their quality and authenticity. Avoid purchasing bulbs that are excessively discounted or packaged in damaged or unmarked containers, as these may not produce satisfactory results. Before planting, it's good to know that planting tulips presents unique considerations compared to other flowers due to their specific requirements and characteristics. One of the primary distinctions lies in the timing of planting. Tulip bulbs are typically planted in the fall, several weeks before the ground freezes, whereas many other annual and perennial flowers are often planted in the spring. Another aspect that sets tulip planting apart is the depth at which the bulbs should be planted. Tulip bulbs require deeper planting compared to some other flowers, typically around 6 to 8 inches deep. This depth helps protect the bulbs from temperature fluctuations and ensures that they receive adequate insulation during the winter months. Furthermore, tulip bulbs benefit from well-draining soil, as they are susceptible to rot if left in waterlogged conditions. Unlike some flowers that thrive in moist or boggy soil, tulips prefer soil that allows excess moisture to drain away quickly, reducing the risk of bulb rot and fungal diseases. Now let's get to planting. When preparing to plant tulips, it's crucial to select a suitable location that receives ample sunlight and has well-draining soil. Tulips thrive in full sun to partial shade, so choose a spot in your garden that meets these criteria. Additionally, ensure that the soil is loose, friable, and free from debris to facilitate bulb establishment and root development. Before planting tulip bulbs, it's essential to prepare the soil by loosening it to a depth of at least 12 inches. This loosening allows for easy penetration of the bulbs and encourages strong root growth. Incorporating organic matter such as compost or age-dim manure into the soil can also improve its texture and fertility, providing an optimal growing environment for tulips. When planting tulip bulbs, dig a hole that is approximately 2 to 3 times deeper than the bulb's height. This depth ensures that the bulbs are adequately insulated and protected from temperature fluctuations during the winter months. Place the bulbs in the hole with the pointed end facing upwards, and space them apart according to the recommended spacing for the particular tulip variety. After placing the bulbs in the hole, backfill with soil and gently firm it around the bulbs to remove any air pockets. Water the newly planted bulbs thoroughly to settle the soil and initiate root growth. It's essential to continue watering periodically throughout the fall to ensure that the bulbs remain adequately hydrated before the ground freezes. Once planted, consider applying a layer of mulch, such as straw or shredded leaves, to insulate the soil and protect the bulbs from temperature extremes. Mulching also helps conserve moisture and suppresses weed growth, creating an ideal environment for tulip bulbs to thrive. Lastly, monitor the planting area for signs of emerging shoots in the spring, indicating that the tulip bulbs have successfully established roots and are ready to bloom. After planting tulip bulbs, proper maintenance is essential to ensure their continued health and vitality. One crucial aspect of tulip care is regular watering, especially during periods of dry weather or drought. Adequate moisture is necessary to support bulb growth and flowering, so be sure to water the tulips deeply and evenly to keep the soil consistently moist. In addition to watering, it's important to monitor the planting area for signs of pests or diseases that may affect tulips. Common pests that can damage tulip bulbs and foliage include aphids, bulb mites, and slugs, while fungal diseases such as botrytis and tulip fire can cause rot and discoloration. Promptly address any pest or disease issues to prevent them from spreading and causing further damage to your tulips. Another aspect of tulip maintenance is fertilization, which helps provide the necessary nutrients for healthy growth and flowering. Apply a balanced fertilizer, such as our October 10th 10 NPK formulation, in the spring before the tulips begin actively growing. NPK stands for nitrogen, N, phosphorus, P, and potassium, K, which are 3 essential nutrients required by plants for healthy growth and development. The NPK ratio indicates the relative proportions of these nutrients in a fertilizer formulation. For example, a fertilizer with an NPK ratio of October 10th 10 contains 10% nitrogen, 10% phosphorus, and 10% potassium by weight. Different plants have varying nutrient requirements, so selecting the appropriate NPK ratio is important for promoting optimal growth and flowering. Follow the manufacturer's instructions for application rates and timing to ensure optimal results without over-fertilizing. As the tulip flowers begin to fade and the foliage starts to yellow, resist the temptation to remove the leaves prematurely. The foliage plays a crucial role in the bulb's energy production and storage process, allowing it to replenish its reserves for the next growing season. Allow the foliage to naturally wither and die back before removing it, typically 6 to 8 weeks after flowering. Once the foliage has completely died back, you can carefully lift and divide the tulip bulbs if desired. Dividing tulip bulbs every few years helps prevent overcrowding and ensures continued vigor and flowering. Gently dig up the bulbs, separate any offsets or bulblets, and replant them in a prepared bed with well-draining soil. Finally, consider applying a layer of mulch over the planting area in the fall to insulate the soil and protect the bulbs during the winter months. Mulching helps regulate soil temperature and moisture levels, reducing the risk of frost heaving and bulb damage. With proper maintenance and care, your tulips will continue to delight with their vibrant blooms year after year. Another aspect of maintenance involves managing pests and diseases that may affect tulips. Common pests that may target tulips include aphids, slugs, and bulb mites, while diseases such as tulip fire and botrytis blight can also pose challenges. Regular inspection of tulip plants for signs of pest infestation or disease symptoms is crucial for early detection and intervention. Depending on the severity of the problem, control measures such as hand-picking pests, applying organic insecticides, or using fungicides may be necessary to protect tulip plants. Furthermore, proper mulching can help conserve soil moisture, suppress weed growth, and insulate tulip bulbs from temperature fluctuations. Organic mulches such as shredded bark or compost can be applied around tulip plants to provide these benefits while also improving soil structure and fertility over time. Mulching should be done carefully to avoid covering the base of tulip plants, as excessive mulch around the stems can lead to rotting. Finally, after tulips have finished blooming and their foliage begins to yellow and wither, it's important to resist the urge to remove the foliage prematurely. Tulip leaves play a vital role in replenishing the bulb's energy reserves through photosynthesis, which is essential for the development of next year's flowers. Allow the foliage to die back naturally before gently removing it from the plant. Proper post-blooming care can help ensure the longevity and vigor of tulip bulbs for future growth cycles. By following the steps outlined in this video, from selecting the right bulbs to providing proper planting conditions and ongoing care, You can enhance your garden with the vibrant colors and elegant blooms of tulips. Remember to consider factors such as bulb selection, planting depth, spacing, soil preparation, and maintenance practices to maximize the success of your tulip planting endeavor. With attention to detail and a little bit of patience, you can create a stunning display of tulips that will brighten your garden year after year. Happy gardening!